Part 1 of Eros and Psyche by Robert Bridges. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Nathan at antipodeanwriter.wordpress.com. Eros and Psyche by Robert Bridges, Part 1, March. In midmost length of 100-citied Crete, the land that cradled Zeus of old renown, where grave Demeter nurseried her wheat, and Minos fashioned law, ere he went down to judge the quaking hordes of hell's domain, there dwelt a king on the Omphalian plain, eastward of Ida, in a little town. 3 daughters had this king, of whom my tale time hath preserved, that loveth to despise the wealth which men misdeem of much avail. Their glories for themselves that they devise, for clerkly is he, old hard-featured Time, and poet's fabled song, and lover's rhyme he storeth on his shelves to please his eyes. These 3 princesses all were fairest fair, and of the elder twain 'tis truth to say that if they stood not high above compare, yet in their prime they bore the palm away, outwards of loveliness. But nature's mood, gracious to make, had grudgingly endued, and marr'd by gifting ill the beauteous clay. And being in honour they were well content to feed on lovers' looks and courtly smiles, to hang their necks with jewelled ornament and gold, that vanity in vain beguiles, and live in gaze, and take their praise for due, to be the fairest maidens then to view within the shores of Greece and all her isles. What of that youngest one, the 3rd princess, there is no likeness, since she was as far from pictured beauty as is ugliness, though on the side where heavenly wonders are, ideals out of being and above, which music worshippeth. But if love love, 'tis as the poet saith, to love a star. Her vision rather drave from passion's heart what earthly soil it had afore possessed, since to man's purer unsubstantial part the brightness of her presence was addressed. And such as mocked at God when once they saw her heavenly glance were humbled, and in awe of things unseen returned to praise the best. And so before her, wheresoever she went, hushing the crowd, a thrilling whisper ran, and silent heads were reverently bent, till from the people the belief began that love's own mother had come down on earth. Sweet Cytherea, or of mortal birth a greater goddess, was vouchsafed to man. Then Aphrodite's statue in its place stood without worshippers. If Cretans prayed for beauty, or for children, love, or grace, the prayer and vow were offered to the maid. Unto the maid their hymns of praise were sung, their victims bled for her they hung garland and golden gift, and none forbade. And thence opinion spread beyond the shores, from isle to isle the wonder flew. It came across the Aegean on 1,000 oars, Athens and Smyrna caught the Virgin's fame, and east or west, wherever the tale had been, the adoration of the foam-born queen fell to neglect, and men forgot her name. No longer to high Paphos now 'twas sailed, the fragrant altar by the Graces served at Cnidus was forsaken, pilgrims failed, the rocky island to her name reserved. Proud Ephyra and Meropis renowned, 'twas all for Crete her votaries were bound, and to the Cretan maid her worship swerved. Which when in heaven great Aphrodite saw, who is the breather of the year's bright morn, fount of desire and beauty without flaw, herself the life that doth the world adorn, seeing that without her generative might nothing can spring upon the shores of light, nor any bud of joy or love be born. She, when she saw the insult, did not hide her indignation, that a mortal frail with her eterne divinity had vied, her fair Hellenic empire to assail, for which she had fled the doom of Ninus old, and left her wanton images unsold in Babylon and Zidon soon to fail. Not long, she cried, shall that poor girl of Crete guard it in my despite, for I will bring such mischief on the sickly counterfeit, as soon shall cure her tribe of worshipping. Her beauty will I mock with loathed lust, bow down her dainty spirit to the dust, and leave her long alive to feel the sting. With that she calls to her comely boy, the limber scion of the god of war, the fruit adulterous, which for man's annoy to that fierce partner Cytherea bore. Eros the ever young, who only grew in mischief, and was Cupid named anew, in westering aftertime of Latin lore. When the first dawn of manhood is, the hour
Sample complete. Ready to continue?